Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, a letter from the Agriculture Minister concerning that $2 billion Chinese proposal leaked to the media. We've got the details.
The Prime Minister gives an update on restoration efforts in Grand Bahama. That story straight ahead.
The Public Accounts Committee report tabled in Parliament this afternoon. We have the details straight ahead.
Welcome to our news. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, Agriculture Minister V. Alfred Gray on the defense again today over that $2 billion proposal for a Chinese Bahamas venture. But while Gray sought to clarify his involvement in the matter, a letter from the minister to the Bahamas ambassador to China was leaked to the Nassau Guardian. In it, Gray calls the venture very progressive.
Just hours after he acknowledged to reporters that he gave the go-ahead for the Bahamas embassy in China to have discussions with the Chinese government on the $2.1 billion proposal for an agri-fisheries project, Gray claimed in a statement that the story in yesterday's Nassau Guardian was utterly false. However, there is now proof of the minister's communication with the Bahamas ambassador to China regarding the venture. In a letter to Paul Andy Gomez dated October 3rd, Gray acknowledged that the initiative calls for Crown land leases. In fact, he said the ministry believes that this initiative, which has been developed by the Embassy of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to the People's Republic of China in consultation with certain Bahamian governmental agencies, is, quote, very progressive. Gray then authorized the ambassador to pursue the initiative further. But Tuesday, in an interview with Our News, Gray admitted that he advised the Bahamian ambassador to China that he could have discussions with the interested investors, but he insisted that was the extent of the matter. Well, Our News team caught up with Gray as he exited Parliament this afternoon.
Not talking about this anymore because I issued a formal statement yesterday. I issued one this morning. I don't want this to go on and on and on. You have a copy of the letter?
Yes, we do.
Print the letter in its entirety. I'll be happy with that because if you can't discuss these things, you're stupid. But to say that the government has a proposal before it for consideration, I don't know what kind of asinine interpretation that is. I'm sick and tired of it.
The minister went on saying,
Sick and tired of people misinterpreting and making political football out of everything. And some things you got to just speak truth.
Well, the Bahamas ambassador to China has also come to Gray's defense. In a statement, Paul Andy Gomez said he has received permission from the agriculture minister to continue dialogue and prepare reports on the economic possibilities in China. He said, we are presently evaluating the possibilities in China. No report or proposal has been submitted to the Minister of Foreign Affairs or Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries or any other minister of the government of the Bahamas.
Well, Prime Minister Perry Christie today painted a bleak picture of Grand Bahama's economy following Hurricane Matthew. While speaking in the House of Assembly, Christie said the government will need help restoring that island, and for that reason he has had to reach out to shipping executives and hoteliers. Our Jasmine Brown was at the House of Assembly today and filed this report. Jasmine.
The Prime Minister was candid in his comments today, admitting that there will be a special intervention for Grand Bahama.
In order to bring about early and sustained economic recovery that will benefit the people of Grand Bahama in this current emergency, we must do whatever we can to protect and create businesses and jobs.
The Prime Minister told Parliament that all necessary measures must be taken to protect and sustain the island's economy as they seek to relieve human suffering in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew.
While various social and humanitarian programs are being implemented, the government at the same time, in consultation with the private sector, is taking the necessary steps to rebuild, repair, reopen and expand the many businesses and public infrastructure which have been severely impacted by the hurricane.
Christie says the situation in Grand Bahama is serious, stating that because of the lack of hotel inventory on the island, Sunwing, which supplies the majority of airlift, has suspended flights indefinitely. The Grand Bahama Celebration Cruise Line has also canceled trip to the islands. Instead, they have been diverted to Bimini. Christie says he has written to executives of Hutchison Whampoa, owners of the Grand Lucayan Memories and the container port, appealing for them to get repairs done as soon as possible, at least in time for the winter season.
We have also appealed to the president of Sunwing to effect hotel repairs and resume flights as soon as possible.
Now, as for the government's role, the Prime Minister says it is both expedient and necessary that there be amendments to the Grand Bahama Investments Incentives Act 2016 to allow more time for licensees to avail themselves of the opportunity to apply for concessions available under that act.
Now, the Prime Minister says he is confident he'll hear from those he's reached out to soon. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Thanks, Jasmine. Well, after nearly 2 years of investigation, the Public Accounts Committee tabled its first report on the government's urban renewal program in Parliament today, with focus on the small homes repair program. Simone Davis has more in this report.
According to Public Accounts Committee Chairman Hubert Chipman, the report, which has been completed since January, reveals that there was a lack of transparency, accountability, and due diligence in the handling of the Urban Renewal Small Homes Repair Program, its execution, and the quality of work done.
In summary, the results of our report showed: 1, the financial and operational procedures employed by Urban Renewal 2.0 have suffered from the most functional deficiencies and are severely lacking in transparency, accountability, and a minimum of fiscal safeguards that are to be expected of any government program.
Among a host of other issues, the report also revealed that employees were paid for work that was either substandard or non-existent.
In addition, highly questionable quality control standards were employed, resulting in full payment for work that was either substandard or non-existent. It is quite clear that the public did not get value for money, and that opportunities for dishonest dealing, fraud, and profiteering abounded.
A leaked Auditor General report last year raised serious concerns about the program. The report also revealed that the Small Homes Repair Project is an instructive case, lacks appropriate record keeping and filing systems. Chipman described the investigation process as the most frustrating experience of his professional career.
Mr. Speaker, as chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, this has to be the most frustrating experience in my professional career. Mr. Speaker, I now know how the government agencies work. This committee has been taken to task on social media over the last few years. And I must say, Mr. Speaker, rightly so. This is the age where people are expecting more accountability from the government.
Chipman had these recommendations to ensure that the committee and the government is doing its job moving forward.
A paradigm shift is required if the Public Accounts Committee is to function within the internationally accepted parameters observed in other countries where transparency is seen as a desirable objective. Mr. Speaker, we need a reform with the select committees of this House. We cannot continue with business as usual. Any select committee is only as good as the information it receives.
Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
Thanks, Simone. Well, police say a tip from a concerned citizen led them to a partially decomposed body in bushes off Carmichael Road near Lazaretto Road around 7 p.m. yesterday. Problem is, the state of the body has left police clueless as to the sex or identity of the body. At the scene, Chief Superintendent Clayton Fernandez indicated that they could not confirm whether they are dealing with a homicide.
We cannot even determine if there is any injuries to the body. We are going to wait for an autopsy to assist in trying to identify the cause of death. Based on the condition, we believe that the body was here just a little over 2 weeks.
The body was found some 80 feet away from a busy Carmichael Road. Fernandez said police will need the public's assistance in identifying the victim, and they will begin with missing persons reports.
That's a line of inquiry that we are following with respect to missing persons, and we want to send an appeal to members of the public who may have any family members went missing for over 2 to 3 weeks to please come forward, reach out to us, and to see if we can identify who this person is.
Still to come on our news.
Dr. Dwayne Sands weighs in on the possible $2 billion deal. That story is coming up straight ahead.
The Labor Minister gives an update on hurricane relief efforts, and later on how Chuck Key is doing a month after Matthew. That's coming up when our news returns.